So I won't go into detail now about how it all works, but you can see me using it. But it's a fantastic way of edging. It's a nice little system of holding your pieces in the right place. So that is ready for me now. We can, give this thing a test. Hi everyone, how's it going? So today we've got edging to do. We've got a whole load of edging. We've got a lot of oak veneer that we've been machining, cutting and machining and sanding. Some bits are getting oiled already because they don't need edging, but others, like this batch over here, need edging. We've had this for a good few years, 4 or 5 years, and it's brilliant. We use it with the paintable edging. Okay, I'm not sure if you've seen that, but it's just basically pre-glued edging just like any other. It comes on a roll like this, all different sizes, 22, 36, 50, I believe, width. Got the glue just like normal on the inside, so it's pre-glue. The machine heats up, rollers it on. So if you are aiming to do edges of MDF and you don't want to fill and sand them, that's great, and it's tried and tested. Works really, really well. Be careful not to go too slow because you can burn it. But we are jumping on the oak veneer. If you live in the UK, there's a place called MP Moran, and probably this is the best place and the cheapest place you're going to buy it. So this is a 50mm roll of pre-glued. You can see the glue there. I got 4 rolls for £83, so just over £20 a roll with that. So that isn't bad, is it? 50 meters. This is it here, oak pre-glued. So I want to give you a little demonstration, and I'm going to set this up. We'll do it together. I'm going to plonk it on this reel here. This reel sits on the machine and allows the material just to spin off as you need it, and then it gets poked through this gap here and use the machine to heat it up and push it on at the same time. It doesn't trim it, but it does put it on. If you are after a trimmer, you've probably seen them, but you can buy these from like Temu or Banggood. Little clippers, okay, and they just go on the edge. They do the edges, and then you get the ones like this which will slide on and skim both edges, like so. It skims across the top and it will take the edging off like that. Or you could do it freestyle. I'll leave a little video of how I like to do it. It's an old video, but I take a look at this one because I like doing it this way, and I find it's just as quick. So the first thing I need to do really is just get that edging, the roll of edging on here, and adjust these little prongs so it holds the roll in place. So I'll flip the machine around this way so you can see the sign up, the AG98F up. That's the way I've got it. You can see these two little grub screws. You need to undo those because these are the 2 little grub screws that hold the arm on. Okay, there's the arm on. Okay, nice and simple. Just make sure they're tight. So you can put this edging on before or after you fix the arm to the machine, but either way. You can see this machine's got 2 prongs, okay. It's going to sit within there, the roll. So we undo this and we just slide this up like so. And then we're going to aim to get our roll around that and adjust these little prongs so it holds the roll in position like so. And it's pretty good there, to be honest. But what we need to do as well, we need to think about is which way the yoke or the veneer comes off, and I've put that on the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to show you why. Where it gets fed in through, okay, through the top, through a roller, but it's upside down, so I need to spin this roll around like so, and let's put that in on the right way. But don't let it unroll on you. So for now, we can. Well, we've got those prongs relatively decent, you know. I think it needs just have a little bit of resistance. You can see it's gripping, and when we go to put this on, we don't want to jam that on either. So this is just to stop the roll coming off this way, sliding off that way. And these prongs hold the reel in place so it doesn't jiggle around, and it stays center to this center pin, if that makes sense. So we need to slide these over. You may need to adjust this. I mean, this has already been pre-adjusted for me. So we don't, for example, we don't want to bang that down tight. Okay, push that down. We just want to give it a little bit of play, like so. Otherwise, it won't unravel. And then we're going to nip that up there. And then maybe we can put it up And there we have it. It's all adjusted. It's on that arm nice and tough. These are nipped up around this side, the butterfly nuts. They're nipped up nice and tight. And it's centered-ish, okay. It's good enough. And I haven't rammed this too tight, as in made these too close. Otherwise, it will squeeze it too tight and it won't unreel as it's spinning. Okay, it will just be a bit resistance. What I have noticed actually is I think I have plonked this in the wrong position, so forgive me for that. I need to spin this around. Okay, so the arm is not over the machine. My bad. I'm going to literally just take this off, spin it around, have it so it's center. Okay, then it drops into the machine and then you push it through. And yeah, we're going to feed it through that bar, get it fed through the rollers. Just sit there. Next thing we need to do is get a scrap of what we're actually going to be edging and make sure those jaws are the right width. So the way you do that, if you're looking from this side here again with the label here, you release this screw and you release this screw, and then this knob will open and close the jaws. Okay, and I'll just give you a demo of it getting bigger and smaller. It's this pad to this pad. So there you have it. There's just enough resistance. You can feel it as you're rubbing it in and out. Not too much. You don't want to scratch your material, obviously, but it is padded material in there. And then once you're happy, you just nip that up and nip that up, and that is the width set. So we're kind of like nearly ready to rock and roll now. So we've got it clamped to the bench. If you want to see the system, I've done a series of the ultimate workbench, so I won't go into detail now about how it all works, but you can see me using it. But it's a fantastic way of edging. It's a nice little system of holding your pieces in the right place. So that is ready for me now. We can, yeah, give this thing a test. Right, so before we do get up and running, it's a kind of bit of trial and error where you have that edging starting and stopping. Okay, just sit there. You'll figure out where to start it, how much you need, but you should be able to snip it and then it's ready for the next one. Also, when you finish, it's got this clip at the top. I don't want to clip it, but you can see, look at this bit here when I'm squeezing it. It's a set of cutters, okay? So as you get to a certain point, you snip it, but then carry on putting the pressure on with your machine to firm that down. But I use this back edge, I think. We'll see. When that gets to the back of your workpiece, I think that's when I snip it, but we can tweak that. This might have more than one heat setting. Yeah, it's got number 1 and number 2 on the handle, on the switch. I'm going to go for number 1 on this and see how it goes. Anyway, heat number 1. Remember that blower is blowing on that edging straight away when you turn that on, so don't take too long because the glue might melt all over your work. So you fill the roller, you start at the end, you fill the roller, pressure down, take your time. Now the back of the edging, that square bit is hitting the back of the workpiece. I'm going to clip it, keep rollering. There we go. Again, this was trial and error on the first one. Yeah, well, my reference point on the back, snipping it when this touches this was perfect because it gave me about a centimetre. And also just having the edging shown, you'll feel the roller walk its way up the step and then you'll feel it. And you put pressure down. If it wobbles side to side your machine, you could just squeeze those jaws in a little bit more, but I don't think that makes a difference. They're quite soft, so they're pliable. But yeah, that seems okay, and it doesn't feel like it's coming off. It was coming off here, but the glue was still warm, and you saw me firm it down on the camera, and that is okay. Let's quickly snip that and clean one up, so we could just do one more together. It's good to see this kind of stuff. When I bought this machine, there was very little information on this machine and people using it. And a lot of people have said that they're not really keen on it, but I actually really like it. Yeah, like that. Let's give it a snip. There. Nope, didn't do it enough. There we go. Beautiful. It's because it's got the label on this one. There we go. So that is the fronts and the backs done. I don't generally use that. I kind of like the folding technique where I put my finger on and I keep folding it until it snaps. That's my technique. Anyway, now I've got this. This is the Stanley one, okay? Put it over, you squeeze it together like that, it's sprung. Squeeze it, and as you're squeezing it, you run it through. And that seems to work a treat. I'll show you what it looks like now. And you can make your mind up on it. So, really nicely firmed down. Obviously needs a sand on the edge with a sander, an orbital sander to sand this face up once you've done it. So you'd sand this up with an orbital, you sand this up, then you get your P240 and then you sand them up, and then you'd get a piece of sandpaper on a block, and then you would just rub that down, not up because you're just going to lift the glue, only down. But yeah, with a block is preferable there. I'm going to remove one of these clamps. I left it on for about 3 or 4 seconds beforehand. Feel the heat coming out. Feel the roller, I felt it. I'm going to let the machine lift up. I clipped it too late. This is what I mean about breaking the edge. Most of the time I can easily snap it like this a few times. Bend it up and down a few times and it comes off quite easily. Then we'll go the trimmer and a little tickle. Yeah. And that is it. That is the edging done. This is the machine. It's a great machine. It will give you more pleasure edging a whole ton of work. We've got 2 wardrobes that we are edging.